Hey, hi Dr. Monal, hi Dr. Nayantara.
Hey, hi, Tavina.
Hi,
Hello,
Tamina.
hello. So what we'll do is we'll wait for I think a few more seconds for more audiences to join in, and then we can start this very interesting session. Yeah,
Sure.
Sure.
cool. I think so. We'll just wait in some time, and then I think we can start. Yeah, I think I see a lot of people joining in. So I think let's just start this discussion. So hello everyone, thank you so much for joining for this live session. I hope you all are doing very well. So in the last few sessions, we interacted with Dr. Shreya and Dr. Monal, and they helped us understand about laser hair reduction and also helped us answer a lot of questions around them. So the sessions were extremely informative, at least for me, and I'm sure for our audiences as well. And it also helped us educate a lot about laser hair reduction. Dr. Shreya and Dr. Monal also helped us bust a lot of myths that we have around laser hair reduction and set the facts right for us. So as we discussed last time, we love to take care of ourselves. We have all of us. We have our monthly rituals of waxing, facial, hair, and spa, right? But with the busy schedule that we all have at home and at work, we keep going back to our waxing and shaving and threading, all those monthly rituals. So even though we are busy, we have to take out time, especially for these painful methods, which come very frequently. But with the help of laser hair reduction as a process, it has become very easy to get rid of these monthly sessions and also be wardrobe ready every day. So, especially if you don't have time to step out and take the service, you can book your laser hair reduction session at the comfort of your home, right? So, what we're going to do is there's also a very special thing that's going on with Urban Company. So, the audiences who ask the most interesting questions and they use the hashtag UC Laser Lounge will get 10% off on Urban Company laser hair reduction, right? So let's just start the discussion. So in today's session, we have the very great, the very intelligent doctors with us, Dr. Monal and Dr. Nayantara Gulati. They will help us understand about laser hair reduction and how you can take it at home. Right. So Dr. Monal is a PG diploma in clinical cosmetology. She has 12 years of experience. Dr. Nayantara has completed her fellowship in medical cosmetology with 3 years of experience. So welcome, Dr. Monal. Welcome, Dr. Nayantara. Thank you for joining us. Hope both of you are doing well today.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tavina.
Thank you, Tamina.
Great, great, great. Cool. So let's start this first. Let's start the session. So I have a question for Dr. Monal for you. So, if you could help me understand what is laser hair reduction and how is it better as compared to the other hair removal methods that we have today?
Okay. First of all, I would just like to greet everybody. Hi to the audience. A very good evening. As I have already discussed during my last sessions as well, so hair reduction basically it is a very simple and a very painless procedure. In laser hair removal, we basically use a concentrated beam of light, okay, which helps to remove unwanted hair. Now, during laser hair removal, what happens is there is a light which gets emitted, okay, and that is absorbed by the melanin pigment which is present in the hair. Now, this
Okay.
light energy here will get converted into heat energy, okay,
Okay.
and that heat energy is going to damage the tube-like sacs which are present in the skin, okay, and that those are basically called as your hair follicles, okay, and that
Okay.
produces hair. So it is going to destroy, or you can say it is going to damage those hair follicles so that the hair doesn't grow back again. Now, this is the
Okay.
process when we talk about laser hair reduction. Now, how better this is, compared to other methods of hair removal. Let me explain you about what happens in while we use a razor or we shave basically the hair, as well as waxing. Now, when we use a razor, what happens is we basically just cut off the top part of the hair basically. So we have two parts of the hair. One which is seen through our naked eyes, that is the shaft of the hair on top of the skin. One beneath the
Correct.
skin, which is basically the hair follicle, which is embedded deep into our skin. Now, when we shave, we basically remove the top, part of the hair, but the part which is lying embedded is basically intact into the skin. So if you see, you will see that few days the hair doesn't pop out, but after a day or two, you would start seeing the hair starts popping out from the hair root because the hair
Yeah.
root is already intact there. And when we talk about waxing, Here, what we do is basically we pull off the hair away from the root, okay?
Hmm.
But the hair follicle still lies intact there. So the hair grows back again after 15 or after 20 days and it starts popping out of your skin again. So overall, if you see, it's always much better to get a laser hair reduction done, okay? Because this is the permanent way of reducing hair. And of course, when you take it at Urban Company, you will see how painless is this procedure. And also in the busy lifestyle these days, what we have, wherein we don't have time to book appointments, okay, and to go to a particular clinic, considering the traffic jams what we have these days, okay, it's always much better if we take it at the brands like Urban Company, which have made it much much easier, to get the service done at the convenience of our home. I hope I've
Got it.
answered that.
Got it. Got it. That's very interesting, Dr. Monal. So we are saying that, so by follicles, you meant the hair root, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so we are saying that laser hair reduction directly targets your roots, so which helps it not to come back. Unlike waxing, it grows back again. But we target the hair follicles, which is the root, which destroys it completely, and hence we see a more permanent solution, right?
Absolutely.
Got it, got it. That's absolutely interesting, and I think very exciting. It's good to know how evolved the technology has become over the years. So before I move on to the next question, as Dr. Monal pointed out, Urban Company provides this service, which is great because it's at home. And I mean, I am a big believer of staying at home and getting your service done at the convenience. So I think, ladies, what I've done is we have. Pinned the comment, first comment from Style Craze, which has the Urban Company linked to the laser hair reduction app. So please click on it and have a check out and check all the services that they have in laser hair reduction and all the questions that you have around it. Great, cool, cool. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question, Dr. Nantara, it's for you. I'm just curious to know that since laser it's used directly on the skin as a procedure. So is the service safe? I mean, does it have any side effects?
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Tuhaina. Hi, everyone. So, if you talk about the laser hair reduction service, it's whether it's safe or not. First, let me tell you about the technology which the Urban Company is using. So, Urban Company uses the latest technology, which is the iSchool technology. So, with
Okay.
that, it becomes almost painless and it is safe. Why? Because as Dr. Monal told already, that laser works on the principle that it targets the melanin. The heat is absorbed by the melanin, and as we know, the melanin is present only in the like upper layer of our skin. So that is why it is very safe. It doesn't go beyond that.
Okay, okay, okay. So all the fear that, I mean, even I have about laser hair reduction, that, it has light, it has laser. So you're saying there is no side effect.
Yeah, because it doesn't go beyond that, because melanin we have in our hair and it is absorbed by melanin itself.
Okay,
That
Dr.
is,
Ned. So melanin, you mean our hair pigment, the color that we are talking about?
yes, the color, the pigment which we have in our hair.
Got it, got it. So that's very interesting. I think the very first question that pops up in anyone's, mind is,
Whether it
would
is
it
safe or
be?
not. Huh?
Yes, yes, yes. So I think it's very interesting to know that it's absolutely safe, and nothing to worry about. I think once for me, I think ladies, so I think we should all go and check out Urban Company's, app, as Dr. Dentar also pointed out that they use iSchool technology. So that is
Yes.
something very interesting. That's very interesting, something I have not heard of. So I think ladies, let's just go to the app, check out the service. Cool. So I think before we move on to the next questions, I would love to pick up two questions from the audience as well, because I see a lot of questions popping up, a lot of people interested in laser hair reduction. So if you could have the audience questions, please. Cool. So Vaishnavi is asking, what is the cost of laser hair reduction done at home? And I think by home she means from Urban Company.
Yes.
Yes. So Dr. Monal, or if you could help us understand.
Yeah, so cost of laser hair reduction, if I see at Urban Company, it is quite less compared to what it is there in the market, because these are sort of introductory prices which Urban Company has come out with. Okay, so we start from 999 to about, depends upon which body part are you taking it up. Okay, and it can go up to around 40 to 50K. It depends upon the body part. So the bigger the body part, the prices increases. Plus, we do have on the app, if you go, we have bundles basically which are there, like which are known as packages, and some some kind of offers which are there which can help the customer to take it up as a as a total program together. Also, we have something known as MYOP, wherein a customer can customize a treatment for herself. Like suppose she wants to take some specific body part, so that she can add it up and she can take it together. So the
Okay.
flexibility is really good one at the app. So once you go and visit the app, that will be more helpful, I would say.
Got it. That's very interesting. So, Dr. Monal, as you pointed out, Urban Company is much more inexpensive than other players that are available today. And you mentioned that Urban Company starts at 999, which is, I think, very interesting. Yeah, that's and you also mentioned that they have a make your own package. So, you can choose the body part you want to club with, if you want to have a single or you want to have other body parts. So that's very interesting. I think, ladies, let's just go and check out the application and see what all they have to offer. Great. So can we have the next question? Great. So I think Dr. Molan, this is for you. Can laser hair reduction be done on thick and dense hair? Very interesting question, actually.
Yeah, I would say that's really an interesting one. In fact, laser works out much better if the hair is thicker and the hair is denser. Uh, I would say the ladies who have issues related to hormones. Okay, so there is a elevated hormones in their body or abnormal hormones in the body. Okay, they tend to have a issue which is known as hirsutism. That is
Hmm.
basically male hormones which are more compared to female hormones. So that
Hmm.
basically leads to hirsutism, which is called as the unwanted hair growth on specific body parts like chin, upper lip, okay, and side
Hmm.
lobes, okay, which are very, if you see cosmetically, they are not very comfortable to go out with such hair. And more, if you get threading, waxing done, it makes the area very, very rough. So I
Hmm.
would always suggest in this particular case, laser really works out wonders. Okay.
Hmm.
Having said that, you would require multiple sessions to get optimum results. So it
Right.
can range up to around starting with 6 sessions to about 10 to 12 sessions also. So that's why we have a team of dermatologists at Urban Company. So you can take up a consultation, and then the doctor will suggest you based on your hair type, on your skin type, also on your medical concern, how many number of sessions would be required to start with.
Okay, okay. So that's very interesting. So, because in waxing, when you have thicker and denser hair, it's more painful. A lot of women I have spoken to have mentioned that, they get bleeding and they get rashes. So I think that's a natural question that does rise up, that does it work with laser hair reduction? So it's very interesting to know that it actually does. And it would help the women, and it's very interesting to know that Urban Company also has dermatologists with them, so you can have that conversation. So that's really interesting. Great.
To add up with one more thing
Yeah.
to Hina, so there is also a ingrown hair which is very commonly seen in many of the ladies,
Hmm.
and when you do more and more waxing done and threading and all done, so it increases. So laser
Hmm.
also have an indirect effect on these unwanted, on these ingrown hair basically. So you
Hmm.
can see it
Hmm.
on the top part of your skin as it is a dark area, but laser
Hmm.
basically pops up that hair as well, and you get rid of the ingrown hair also, and none of the other technology basically can help you to get rid of the syndrome.
Oh, that's I think that's extremely interesting because yeah, with waxing and threading, razor, you have ingrown hair, so it's great to know that laser hair reduction can also get rid of that. And I think that the strawberry legs that we call, because of the ingrown, I think that is something that we can get rid of. That's
Absolutely.
interesting.
And also,
Great.
Tuhina, it's painless.
It's painless. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yes. That's you're
waxing is
absolutely right.
very painful, especially in the intimate areas. It is very painful for the ladies.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's painless, unlike, yeah, cool. Okay, great. Okay, so before we move on to the next question, ladies, I would like to tell you, I know you're asking some really interesting questions, but if you couple that up with the hashtag UC Laser Lounge, you can win the chance to get 10% off. So that will be great. Cool. Okay, so Dr. Nayantara, this next question is for you. Is there any certain criteria, or anyone, or anyone can get laser hair reduction done? Is there an age? Is there a criteria? Like, how does it work?
See, yeah, there's a criteria. So first of all, anyone above 15 years, particularly like menarche has come. So any
Hmm.
girl who has achieved the menarche, she can
Menarche?
get the laser. Like the menstrual cycle has started for puberty has been.
Okay. Okay.
She has attained the puberty, so she can get the service done. If she's up like under 18, she needs a guardian's consent, obviously, but she can get the service done. Apart
Okay.
from it, if a person is pregnant or breastfeeding, we tell them to avoid. A
Hmm.
breast mother can also get it done post 6 months only.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anyone can done get it done unless or until they have black thick hair or even thin hair. Basically, melanin should be there so that we can target the hair. We should
Okay.
just
Okay.
start with hair.
Okay, okay, very interesting. So once you attain your puberty, and Dr. Nayantar, if I'm correct, is it because now your hormones are at work, so hair growth
Yes,
is there?
because puberty means that there are different types of growth spurts. So puberty
Hmm.
is the last growth spurt. So after that, hormonal fluctuations are balanced.
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
don't get a lot of hormonal turbulence after that, and so we
Hmm.
know like this is the growth, this type of growth will be there, and then we can work accordingly.
Understood. Got it. Got it. Got it. So pregnant women should avoid it and
Avoid
avoid it. Understood. Understood. And I think with Urban Company, they provide dermatologist consultation. So I think if any
obviously.
of you, yeah. So if any of
Yes.
you have questions around,
Any doubts, any questions, you can get free consultation even before the service, even during the service, even post the service. So
okay.
that's a very great thing.
Okay, got it. Great, great. That's very interesting to know. Cool. Okay, so Dr. Moran, moving on to the next question that I have for you is: so I've heard from many women that very often that the hair growth it becomes quite thick, right? Right? Like with razor, women think that when or it is believed that when you shave it off, it gets thicker. So does it work similarly for razor hair reduction? Like, does your growth become thicker and dense after your first session in any particular area or otherwise?
Okay. So, to explain this in a much better way, first I would like to tell you how does the hair grows. Okay. So hair grows in three cycles. It is called as your anagen, catagen, and telogen. Okay. So the phase, which is basically the growing phase, which is known as the anagen phase of your hair, laser basically works only on this particular phase, the starting phase, growing phase of your hair. Okay. So whichever hair is there in this particular phase, the anagen phase, while you're taking a session at that point of time, will be targeted by the laser rays basically. So as you keep on taking sessions, multiple sessions, you would see that automatically your hair is going to get reduced. Also, the hair is going to get thinned out. So by the end of your session, you would see the hair thinning has been happened. The hair density has been reduced to a quite large extent. So there is nothing called as hair will become thick. Instead, it is going to become thin out. So even if you see at the end of your sessions, if suppose some hair has been left over, that will be thinned out, which is basically not too visible through your naked eyes as well. Like we
Okay.
call them as wellness hair. The ones what we have it on a cheek area, those are known as your wellness hair. So it turns off to that hair.
Okay, okay. So it's very interesting. So the question was actually, does your hair get thicker? But in reality, it actually goes even thinner.
Yeah.
Thin, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's very interesting to know. That's very interesting to know. I think, ladies, this is something very helpful for all of us. So it's not just that your hair goes away, but the fact that your hair also, it gets thinner. I think that's really really great. Cool. So I think before moving on to the next question, I would just like to remind you guys again that we have pinned the link to the Urban Company app for laser hair reduction. So do go check out and do use the hashtag UC Laser Lounge with your question to get a chance to win 10% off on their laser services, right? So I think let's do something. Let's pick up a few more audience questions because I think they're pouring in, and I'm sure they wanted to get answered. So let's just ask a few more questions. Okay. Cool. So Shruti is asking Dr. Nayantara, how is LHR different from waxing in terms of hair growth?
In terms of waxing, see, waxing is we are just taking the root out of the shaft. In laser, we are targeting and we are targeting the melanin which is present in the hair, and we are burning the hair follicle, which stops or inhibits the hair growth. So in waxing, we are not stopping the hair growth. In
Hmm.
waxing, the
Hmm.
hair will regrow definitely. Supposedly, somebody has a cycle of 15 days, somebody has a cycle of 1 month, somebody has a cycle of maybe 1.5 months.
Hmm.
But in laser, what we do, we inhibit as well as we delay the hair growth. So, for example, if someone is getting sessions done, Obviously, we need multiple sessions. We cannot do it in single session, as Dr. Monal said already. The hair growth has some stages: anagen, catagen, telogen, and laser works best on the anagen. And at any given point, we have only 15 to 18% of our hair in the anagen phase. So that is why we need multiple sessions. And what happens by taking sessions, for example, we have taken 4 to 5 sessions, so automatically our growth gets delayed. So hair regrowth pattern also gets delayed. Your hair will not come after 15 days, they will come after 3 months, 4 months, depending, vice versa. And once you have completed the service, they may not come more than a year. So this is the difference between waxing and between laser hair reduction. So laser hair reduction is a long-term permanent reduction solution, where waxing is just a temporary solution. You just remove the hair, plug the hair, remove the hair, and that's it. It doesn't
Understood.
do anything or alter the hair regrowth pattern at all.
Understood. Understood. So in waxing, how every month your hair growth is going to come back, but in laser reduction, as you mentioned, it will slowly get slower. So instead
Yes.
of 1 month, it'll be 3 months, then 6 months, and then eventually even in a year, right? Great.
Yes,
Cool.
more than a year, even 2 years we have seen, more than 2 years even.
Okay, great, great, great. That's very interesting. So let's move on to the next audience question. Okay, so Raj Suki is asking, Dr. Monal, does laser hair reduction affect men and women differently, or does it work the same for everybody?
Hi, Mr. Raj. So, laser basically, I would say, works out on both men and women. Okay, but the results are much faster in case of females. The reason being, females have a little, thinner hair compared to men. Okay, the melanin content definitely is the almost the same, but I think on the men it may be a little more because of the hair thickness. Okay, so if suppose the number of sessions are 6 to 8 for a female, it would require more number of sessions in case of males. So mostly we have seen males taking it for the chest area. They prefer taking it for the chest area so that they can wear shirts and their chest can be visible. But it would take more number of sessions.
Understood. Got it. Got it. Great, great. So, Dr. Monal, does Urban Company also provide services for men at the moment?
Currently, we are only catering to females, but soon we will be coming up to services provided for men as well.
Great, great, cool. So I think, Mr. Raj, you should let your wife or your partner know that she can avail the services, and we have pinned the comment, the link in the comments, so you can go and check out all the services there for laser hair reduction. Great. Sure. So I think moving on to our other question, Dr. Nayantara. Um,
Yes.
Yes. So, Dr. Nayantara, uh, is a single session enough to get rid of unwanted hair, or are multiple sessions required? And is it painful as a service?
See, as I told earlier, also, we cannot do this with single session. It's a big myth. And as Dr. Monal already addressed, that our hair growth has three different phases. So
Hmm.
laser works only on anagen phase, and anagen phase at a given time is only present for roughly about 15 to 18%. That is the
Hmm.
reason that every time we are targeting only say 15% of hair, which are in the anagen phase. So that is
Hmm.
why we cannot target 100% and we need multiple session. So
Hmm.
generally, if someone doesn't have any hormonal imbalance,
Hmm.
usually it takes 6 to 8 sessions,
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay. Okay.
it is almost painless, because I told, because the Urban Company has the ice cool tip technology. Plus it also uses a cooling gel, so which
Hmm.
creates and soothes the skin, and if there's any heat it is absorbed by the gel. Apart from it also, like because of the cool tip, so we do it in, like, we have two criteria: first we pre-cool it, then we post-cool it. Pre-cooling
Hmm.
is done to numb the skin so that the patient is very comfortable, the person is very comfortable, and
Hmm.
post-cool to curb the heatness, to so that there is no redness or something.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
is why it becomes almost painless. You might feel a tingling sensation that's very bearable, very nominal. So it's absolutely like pain-free, I would say.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay, so it's very interesting that okay, so it does not take single sessions. It usually
Yes.
takes, as you mentioned, 6 to 8 sessions, depending on the
Yes.
body part. But ladies, at least after those 6 to 8 sessions, you're free. You're free from your waxing. You're free from your razor. You're free from your threading. So I think it's just a matter of 6 to 8 sessions. And Dr. Nayantara, she pointed out that it's absolutely, it's almost painless. You just feel a little prickly sensation. And I think it's great to know how technology has evolved, that we have, an eye school technology, and urban companies providing the same, so you feel very comfortable, you feel very soothing. Very interesting to know, Dr. Nayantara, that you also do like a pre-cooling and a post-cooling. So that
Yeah.
is something very interesting, something I have not heard of before. Great. Cool. So let's move on to the next question. Oh, this is a very interesting one, actually. Dr. Monal, with the upcoming technology, so much is happening, right, in the world. But, how is it possible to do laser hair reduction at home? And how does Urban Company really do it? Because, I picture a big machine. So I'm not, so if you could just help us understand the possibility of getting a laser hair reduction done at home, and how Urban Company also does that service at home. Okay, I think Dr. Monal has some network issue. I think till the time she joins back, Dr. Nayantara, if you could help us understand the same.
Sure. So yes, absolutely, we can get it done at the convenience of our of our own home, and it is the, I think, most comfortable thing to get it done at home. And with Urban Company, this has been possible.
Hmm.
And if you know, Urban Company is using diode laser, which is of triple wavelength, and it is a portable device which is carried by the partner or the professional at your place to perform the laser service so smoothly. Plus, what Urban Company gives it advantage, because it is not just the professional, so a
Hmm.
relationship is also built with the dermat or with the doctor, whoever is attending the person. So all the parameters are set by the doctor, by the dermat itself, and they are like conveyed to the professional, and
Okay.
professional delivers the service.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so you are like hassle free. You don't have to wait. You don't have to take the appointment. There's so many benefits, you know. Plus, you are getting the latest technology by the Urban Company. Plus,
Hmm.
all the estheticians, the professionals are trained. They are more than 5 to 10 years trained. Plus, they are
Oh.
Urban Company trained as well. So
Oh.
even the dermats train them as well according to their likings. So I
Understood.
think
Understood.
if we get this opportunity, anyone gets this opportunity, we should grab them. Because if you are getting the service available at your home, and I think this is the best thing. Because also I would like to mention to Hina, post laser, normally what happens, we always tell ki protect yourself from sun, use a photo protection, use a sunscreen. And if you're getting the service at home, so you
Hmm.
don't need to worry about that also.
Oh, yes, yes, that's very interesting. So I think, ladies, it's a great news to know. Even I had doubts and I had questions around, how we can get this service done at home. So, and as Dr. Nentara pointed out, that the professionals who, I think it's very nice to hear that they have around 5 plus years experience in the skincare industry, and they are the ones who come and perform. As Dr. Nentara also mentioned, that they have best in class technologies. That's something very comforting to know. um,
Yeah.
you also mentioned that there are dermatologists involved, so that's very comforting to know. So it's great to know that the service can be done at home. Dr. Monal, if you can help me understand, with laser hair reduction that is done at home, are the steps followed very similar to that of offline clinics?
Yeah, mostly we are following up the same steps. So if you speak about the professionals, what we have, they are all trained professionals. They have 5 plus years of experience, minimum of 5 plus years of experience. Plus, they have worked in, dermat clinics, and they have a lot of experience related to lasers. Related to lasers. And
Hmm.
we have doctors who are there to take care of the complete consultation. It is done, and they supervise the customer's treatment also. So even if a customer is taking a service at home, okay, and if there
Hmm.
is a need of the dermat to get in touch with the customer, okay, the through the help of the professional, they can get in touch with the doctor. Also, prior to the service, they can take up a consultation, and if they have any doubts related to their treatment, okay, they can clear all those doubts before they start with the treatment. And the technology which we are using, as Dr. Nayantara has already told, so it's a high-end technology what we are using, plus it's a painless technology. So overall, if you see, it's much better than I would say an offline clinic. Here, you're getting it done at the convenience of your home. So nothing best than that. Best than that, I would say.
Understood, understood. Very interesting, very interesting. So, ladies, I think we just asked this question about whether it can be done at home, and they did mention it that, it's possible, it's a convenient. You do not have to, take appointments. You can book at the comfort of your home at the appointment that you are comfortable with. So I think, and it's very comforting to know that they use best in class technology, but also their professionals are trained for 5+ years. They have experience, so that's great. So okay, we have few more questions popping up. Let's take two more questions from the audiences. Yeah. So what's the first question? So Meghna is asking how much sessions are required in the laser uh, hair reduction technology. Yeah, Dr. Nayantara, I think you mentioned 6 to 8 sessions, so if you could help elaborate.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hi, Meghna. So, for any female who has a normal hair growth for any body part, we need 6 to 8 sessions at least. But for face, we may require roughly 8 to 10 sessions because our face is a sensitive part as compared to other body parts, even the intimate area. And if you do not have any hormonal issue, then absolutely 6 to 8 sessions are absolutely fine.
Great, great, great. And Dr. Nayantara, is it done after 6 to 8 sessions, or should we look at
Uh,
maintenance?
as I said, it's a long-term permanent hair reduction solution. So yeah,
Hmm.
maintenance is obviously required, but it depends from individual to individual because every individual has a different skin type, different hair growth type. So that is why we take a consultation. That is why the role comes of a dermat to assess how much sessions will be required and maintenance will be required post 6 months, post 1 year. And if a maintenance is required, that is only a single session, so that's very easy. Only a single session. You don't need to go through the whole procedure again. So, for example, if I feel, for example, Meghna has got her 6 to 8 sessions for her full body, and
Hmm.
after like 8 months, she's in touch with me throughout the
Hmm.
journey. She feels ki doc, I think 5% hair. I'm finding 5% hair are like coming back. So I would say, okay, go for a maintenance session. After
Hmm.
1 year is completed, you can go for it. And then she needs to get a single session and she's again free. And by
Understood.
that single session, again her regrowth, the hair regrowth time duration will again increase. It won't fall back.
Understood. 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 So,
The next
Dr.
time she might require the session, for example, she took the maintenance session about 6 months later. Next, she might require it after 8 months or 1 year. So this is how it starts increasing.
Understood. Great, great. So, Dr. Nantara, as you mentioned, for your face and your intimate area, you might require a little bit, one or two more sessions, which is maybe your
Yeah.
8 to 10 sessions. But for your other body parts like your hands and your legs, you can go ahead with 6 to 8 sessions, and there is when you can start seeing the results.
Yes, absolutely.
Understood, understood. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll move on with the questions, few of the questions that I have, and then at the end of the discussion we could take up more audience questions, right? Great. Okay, so Dr. Nayantara, you did mention that Urban Company provides dermatologist consultation as well. But while I'm taking the laser hair reduction service at home, can I then also have a conversation with the dermatologist?
Yes, certainly. You always have the access in the urban company. This is the like prime feature. So you
Hmm.
can always tell your professional that you want to speak to the dermatologist, or even we have another system. You can go through the application. There's a general account section, and through that help desk is there. And even
Hmm.
if you don't go through that, professional will directly make you talk to the dermatologist.
Hmm. Hmm.
And even
Understood.
before the service, if you have any doubts, you can
Hmm.
always talk to them and get your doubts clear. Even post the service, if you feel you're not comfortable due to anything or with the service, or you'd want to talk about how many much sessions required, or you're just not feeling well, you can obviously talk about it.
Understood. Very interesting. So I think, ladies, we have pinned the Urban Company application on our comment. Go there. I think I think after this session, I'm also going to book a consultation with the dermatologist in Urban Company. Let her assess my skin, and I think book a session. So I think ladies, go to the application and check out their services along with the dermatologist consultation that they have. Great. Okay, so moving on, Dr. Monal, according to you as a doctor, Which is better, to take laser hair reduction at home or to take it at a clinic?
Okay, good question. So here, what I would say is, if I was, if I was taking a service, I would obviously prefer it, at the convenience of my home. Okay. One, the traffic these days is killing, so and we all are working these days. All the ladies are working, so we don't find so much of time, to give out throughout the day apart from the weekends. Okay, so I would always prefer getting it done at home when I know the technology is this at par to whatever we have in the offline clinics. We have a doctor who is supervising us. We have trained professionals who are coming to do the service. So I would always prefer taking it at home. Plus the sun exposure, which is there when we step out. Okay, so that also has a very bad effect on our skin. So we have to use a sunscreen, no doubt. But post the service, it's always better to be indoors. So when we are taking a service, we are indoor. So that would be much better, I would say. So yes, it's absolutely fine taking it at home.
Okay, great. So do you hear this, guys? I think Dr. Mol has said that it's better to get the service done at home, and I completely agree with her. With traffic, I mean, we are so busy with things going on in our life that it gets really tough to take our time. And if there's the service available wherein they provide dermatologist consultation, you have 5+ years experience of of the estheticians who are performing the service on you, and you have the best in class technology, which is painless. I don't understand why should we not go and book the service at the comfort of our home. So yeah, so great. Okay, so I think let's take some audience questions. I think 2, 3 audience questions. Okay. I think we did answer this question before, but some of our audience have joined in a little later. So the question is, what is the cost of laser hair reduction in India?
Okay. So I think I just answered a while ago. So if you talk about urban company, we currently are charging very less compared to market prices. Okay. So we have treatment starting from triple nine, okay, to about 50 to 60. Now that depends upon body parts which you are taking. The bigger the body part, the cost basically increases. Having said that, we do also have bundles basically. Okay, so the bundles are on a lesser cost. Okay, because you require minimum of 6 to 8 sessions to get optimum results. So that is basically discounted one. Plus we have MYOP. That is basically you choose the body part whichever you want to take it up. Okay, and we give you a good price basically. So compared to market, I would again say it's really, really cheap. So you can always try it. You can try it with a one body part. You can be very happy with that. Once you are done with that, then you can take it up with the other body parts.
So this is very interesting, Dr. Moral, that Urban Company provides really like cheaper rates as compared to the market. So you can definitely go and check them out. And as you mentioned, that they have make your own packages, so that is really helpful. Yeah, I think let's take one more question from the audience. So Trishla says that my skin is very sensitive. So please tell me if laser hair reduction is best for me or not. I think this is a good question. A lot of people have sensitive skin. A lot of people also have, certain skin problems like dryness. So can they go ahead with laser hair reduction? Can she go ahead with laser hair reduction?
So here we have to first check out the sensitivity is related to what. So when we do a dermat consultation, we will be completely taking your history to understand the sensitivity is related to what. Also, before when you're taking up the service, there are some pre-care instructions which we basically give you to follow up. Out of which the major ones are that you should not use any sort of creams which makes your skin very sensitive. Those are basically active ingredients like retinoids, tretinoin. Okay, so these are things we have to avoid before the service. Okay, and if it is sensitive, we have trained professionals who will take care of your skin while they are doing the service. There has to be proper cooling. Also, as we said, the appliance that we are using has a chill tip, so you're not going to feel so much of pain. Okay, plus there will not be so much of a burning sensation compared to age-old technologies, which used to cause a lot of pain basically and a lot of burning sensation to the customers. So that ways we have everybody trained here who will be taking care of your treatment, so you don't need to worry about it.
That's great. That's great to hear. So even if you have sensitive skin, I think you can get it done. If you have any questions, I think Urban Company has their dermatologist to whom you can consult. So the link is pinned in the comment. Go check out their go check out their application. Book a consultation today, and then you get all your questions answered. I know we're just picking up certain little few questions, and I'm sure a lot of you have more other questions. So I think the best thing to do is go to the application, book a dermatologist consultation, get all your questions answered there. Great. Okay, so I think Dr. Nayantara, I have one question for you, which is I think will be a last question for our live session. Is are there any things that we need to take care of if someone is going for their first laser hair reduction session?
Yeah, obviously, as just right now, Dr. Monal also said about the pre-care.
Hmm.
So, when the consultation will be done, the doctor, the dermat, they will share the pre-care instructions which need to be followed religiously by the person. So, what are these? So, for example, obviously, not to shave, not to thread, not to wax at least 10 days prior to the service. Because
Hmm.
if they have shaved or waxed, so we do not have the hair to check. And secondly, if they have wax, the root is not there, the hair is not there. So we how will target the hair? The laser won't target the hair.
Hmm.
Secondly, if the service is for the face, avoid any makeup on the day of the service.
Hmm.
Third, if you're using any kind of medications, any topical medications or oral medication which contains retinoid or retinols, do stop them.
Hmm.
Even the night creams, they have retinols, retinoids, and
Hmm.
these days there are so many depigmenting creams present available in the markets. So it
Hmm.
stop at least 7 days prior to the session. And
Okay.
even if you're using AHA, BHA, like lactic acid, glycolic acid, salicylic acid these days, which are available, do avoid them at least 2 days prior to the service. Because see, all these agents dry your skin. And when
Hmm.
we'll be doing laser hair service, we will shave. And laser doesn't cause the dryness. The shaving causes the dryness. It doesn't super dry it, but if you are already using some agents which are drying and then you shave, then it can cause a more dryness. So that is why to avoid super dryness, we tell to avoid all these things. Also to avoid any salon activity such as facials, waxing, bleaching at least a week prior to the service. So that's the basic thing which I always tell all the people to avoid. Also, our in India, there's a system of using homemade remedies. So I even tell them to avoid because we don't know what can cause the skin dry. That is
Hmm.
why. So
Understood.
just avoid this and followed by a good pre-care and post-care, that is applying a good moisturizer, using a good sunblock. Even if you're not getting laser, you should always use a good moisturizer and a sunblock.
Understood. Understood. This is very interesting, guys. I think Dr. Nayantara pointed out rightly that, as Dr. Nayantara and Dr. Monan did mention that it targets your hair follicles, which is your roots. So we should not, wax and epilate our hair before the session. And I think one thing she pointed out greatly was be natural. I think go for your session natural, without makeup, without any treatments. Just go fresh with good moisturizer. Like apply a lot of moisturizer, because that is what Dr. Nentara said before and after.
Because then it won't dehydrate the skin. Yeah, it won't cause the
Absolutely.
dryness.
Absolutely. So always apply moisturizer and always apply your sunblock. Okay, great, great. So I think we've come to the end of our session. I would like to firstly thank our lovely audience for being a part of this session, and sending some really interesting questions. I know we were not able to pick up everybody's question, and I think that's why we have pinned the link to the Urban Company application app on our comment. Go there, check out. They have all your questions answered, and if you still have any questions, they have a dermatologist consultation available. It's just for 49 rupees. Just go, get a call, get all your questions answered, and go ahead with your laser hair reduction session. I think I am going to do this now, after having this conversation with everybody, right? So, Dr. Monal and Dr. Nayantara, it was great talking to you, and you both have really enlightened us with such great knowledge, which will be extremely beneficial for everybody over here who's considering of getting laser hair reduction, right? So, thank you so very much for being a part of this session, and thank you to the audience as well.
Thanks, Sohina, for having us here.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tuhina.
Dr.
Thank you, everyone.
Nayantara.